Welcome to this course on how to create a video blog website from scratch. This is the actual website that we're going to be creating in the course, and it's a great website for, say, an online instructor who wants to display some of their videos, or someone with a strong YouTube following who wants to have their own dedicated website. And just in general, this site can work well for a standard blog or as a portfolio site to show off different images and pictures. And one reason why I think it's good for videos or images is this Pinterest style grid layout. And this way they can see thumbnails of many different posts rather than having to scroll down just to see the next post. So it's great for anything visual because they can get a quick snapshot right away. So something like video heavy blogs or image heavy blogs, I think work great with this type of website because of that grid-like layout where they can just get a snapshot right away and quickly see thumbnails of the different posts. Let's do a quick tour of the website so you can kind of get a feel for the different features that we'll be implementing in this course. And so here at the top we have our navigation bar, and you can put whatever you want up here. You can have it go to places within the site. You can have it navigate you to external websites. Maybe you have another website you want people to go to. So yeah, you can completely customize this nav bar up here. Then we have this header area that's also completely customizable, so you can put your own image back there, title, tagline. Then here on the left, you see this Facebook icon. If you click on it, all these social media icons pop out, and these will all link to the respective social network profile. So clicking on this will link to the Build Without Code Instagram page. We'll close that, and then on the right we have this plus sign, which if we hit it, it pulls out this sidebar with a search bar, recent tutorials, as well as categories, and all of the posts are categorized, you can see. And so if we click on a certain category, for instance mini courses, then it will bring up a page showing all the posts or video posts, tutorials in this category. Coming back to the home page, so each post has a featured image, the title shows the date, and then a little excerpt. And if we were to click on the image or the title, it would take us to the actual post itself. And here on the post itself, we have that same sidebar that we saw earlier, but now it's here to stay. We don't have to push the button. It's on all post pages by default. And we have some nice share buttons, make it easy for them to share our content. Most importantly, the embedded YouTube video. You could also do this for video or for Vimeo, excuse me, or you could just upload your own video directly. But here we have our YouTube video, and then some more description. You can add some more links down here, and then more social share buttons. And then here at the bottom, people can leave comments on these posts as well. And then at the bottom of every page, including home page or post, no matter where you are in the site, we'll have this same footer, which has a little contact us widget with our email, and then some more social profile icons that link to those social profiles, and then another recent tutorials or recent posts widget that can be customized to a certain extent as well. The site will also be completely responsive and mobile friendly. So as the screen size gets smaller, you can see the layout and such changes to fit the width of the screen so that it still looks good. And over here we have emulation of what it would look like on iPhone 6. And as you can see, it fits the screen size just fine, so it's going to look good on any screen, tablet, or smartphone. I actually redesigned my own video blog website using this theme or template. So if you want to see an actual site similar to the one we'll be creating in the class, head over to blog.buildwithoutcode.com. In order to customize our website, we're going to be using WordPress. And WordPress is web software that lets you customize your site, and you can do so without having to write code. So it makes it a lot easier to build your website, but WordPress is still very flexible and powerful. And so right now I'm signed into my WordPress dashboard, and this is where I would come to make any changes to my site, to add, for instance, blog posts, or to change the appearance of the site. And there's also something very important called plugins. So this is just an example of something that makes WordPress such a good development tool. So with plugins, it's a way to extend the functionality of your site. It's kind of like, you have a computer. Your computer can do certain things, but you install different programs to extend the functionality of your computer. So to do different things that don't come natively on your computer, you may install a program. Similar with a plugin. A plugin will help you extend the functionality of your website. So for instance, let's say I want to add some share buttons. One of my favorite plugins for this is Mass Share, and so it's free to use. So I'm just going to hit install now, activate the plugin, and now here it's installed. Now I just need to add or customize certain settings to make sure it shows up real quickly. So I want it to show as many buttons as I have selected, and the buttons I want it to show are the Facebook and Twitter. So I'll save changes, and then in visual I'm going to go to location position, and I want it to appear on all posts, and I'll hit save changes. So here's how a blog post will look like beforehand, and now if I hit refresh, it should implement that plugin. And so here you can see the Mass Share plugin, which adds Mashable style share buttons, where there's a counter. If someone shares it, it's going to show here, and they can just click on the Facebook or click on the Twitter to easily share this article. And so this is just an example of why WordPress is so awesome, because without having to write any code, I could install a plugin, and voila, I have these share buttons here on my site. So WordPress is a great way to build websites, and that's what we're going to be using to build this website. Before we can start customizing our website, we first need to get it live on the internet. And there are three main things we need to do to get our website all set up on the internet so that we can begin customizing it. First of all, we need to register a domain name. And a domain name is just an address. So facebook.com, that is an address that directs people to Facebook's website. So after we register a domain name, we then need to set up web hosting. And web hosting is, think of it as a remote computer that stores all of your content. So when we are putting images and videos, any type of content on our website, those things need to be stored somewhere. And web hosting is just basically renting a remote computer so that we can store our content on there, so that when people visit our website, they're able to view all of our content. After that, we will need to install WordPress, and once we install WordPress, we can then start customizing the site with WordPress. And luckily for us, WordPress is 100% free to use. So once we do these three things, we'll have our website live on the internet and ready to start customizing. One of the first things you're going to need to do when you're building a website is register a domain name. And a domain name is just an address to take you to a website. So if we want to go to Facebook's website, for instance, up here we type in facebook.com. So this right here highlighted is their domain name, and it's just the address that takes us to their website. So you need a specific, unique address to take people to your website, and that's what the domain name is. So domain names you can register. They usually cost about $10 a year. You can register from places like Namecheap, GoDaddy, 1&1. I've used all three of those services. Namecheap, in my opinion, is the best. It's cheap, really easy to use. And for any of those services, they usually have a bar where you can put in the domain name you want, and you can check to see if it's available or not. So let's say I want to buy hokuswebsite.com, hit search, As you can see, hokuswebsite.com is available, so if I wanted to, I could just buy it right now. So first thing you're going to want to do is go to namecheap.com, and there's a link in the description of the video for Namecheap you can go to as well. Then just put in your domain right here in the search bar. Hit search. And Namecheap is a really great website for domains because one, they're really cheap, and two, it's really easy to use. Okay, so make sure it's available, then just add it to cart. Once it's added, view cart. So you can get it for multiple years. I just want one, and you can turn on or off auto renew at any time, so I could turn that off later if I want. And this is a free year and doesn't auto renew. Awesome. And any of this stuff, if you want it, go for it, but I usually just want the domain, nothing else. So I'll hit confirm order. And then if you don't have an account, just go ahead and fill that out and hit create account and continue. Now just some additional information you have to fill out. I'm going to do it as an individual. And yeah, so just go ahead and fill all that stuff out and hit continue. So now just go ahead and make sure this is the right contact information, and if you need to change it for some reason, maybe billing's different, then go ahead and do that. If not, you can just, if you want to save this for later, and then hit continue. Then you're going to put in your credit card information and make sure your billing address is correct. And this is automatically on the right setting, so you don't even have to click any of that. You can make this your default payment and then just hit continue again. Okay, so you can just review your order real quick. Looks all good. So that's it. Just hit pay now and you're done. If you want to make your own website, you're going to need web hosting. And I'm going to explain to you what that is using Pinterest. So after uploading this picture from your computer to Pinterest, you could actually delete the picture from your computer and everyone would still be able to see it on Pinterest. That's because once you upload it to Pinterest, it's actually stored on Pinterest's computers. And these computers that are used to store web content are called servers. This is a picture of a typical server rack. And so for your website, you're going to have pictures, text, you might have videos, all sorts of different content. And that too needs to be stored on a server. So you could either buy your own server and set it up yourself, but that's pretty complicated. So what most people do is they simply rent a space on someone else's servers. And this is called web hosting because they are hosting your web content on their servers. So go to Hostgator.com, and I'll put a link in the description. And Hostgator makes it really easy to get started right away, and it's very cheap. So that's why I like Hostgator. Click Get Started Now. And then if you scroll down here, the different plans. Hatchling plan is a little bit cheaper than Baby plan, but with Baby, you can put as many domains as you want onto this one plan. And so for that reason, I think the Baby plan is the best. You can buy a couple years in advance or go monthly, so let's just do monthly for now and hit sign up now. So you can buy your domain through Hostgator. So let's say my name's Hoku, so I want to buy hokuswebsite.com. And it's about $13 a year if you buy it through Hostgator. Namecheap.com is actually a few dollars cheaper, so you could buy it through another service. If you were to buy it through another service, just say I already own this domain, and then put it in. You're going to need a username and PIN number, and this will auto-populate correctly. You don't need to touch that. You'll need to put in your billing information. These I do not believe are necessary, so you can uncheck them. If you really feel the need, then leave them checked. And there's a preloaded 20% off coupon. So this is 20% off your first bill, though. So if you see, it's usually $10 a month, but they're going to give it to you for $8 for the first month, for the first bill. So if you scroll up, see right here, it's January currently, so the second month, February, it goes back to $10 a month. So they've actually hooked us up with a better coupon. You type in build without code 1, you're going to see this discount jump up, validate. So it went from $2 to almost $10. So your first bill would only be 1 cent. Then after that, it goes back to the regular $10 a month. However, if you want to get an even bigger discount, you can, but you'd have to pay more in advance. So let's put this to 12 months. So this is if you were to buy 12 months in advance, you'd still get that same $10 discount with this code. But if you do build without code with no one, just build without code, hit validate, this is actually a 25% off discount. So it's 25% off your first payment. If you're buying a year in advance, then it's 25% off this amount, which adds up to almost $30 off. And the ultimate discount is this same coupon code, the 25% off your first payment. So you can see in the second year it goes to back to $10 a month, but that's not for a whole year. The ultimate discount would be buying 3 years in advance, 36 months, 25% off. That amount is almost $70. So that's how you would save the most money, but obviously the downside is you'd have to pay in advance. So if you want to do monthly, I would do the build without code 1. And there you go, it'll be just 1 cent. But if you don't care about paying in advance, then I would say pay in advance in 3 years obviously is how you're going to get the most off, and have just build without code, that 25% off your first payment, and that's how you'll save the most money. And so obviously you have to pay more up front. There is, however, a 45-day money-back guarantee. So let's say you pay 3 years in advance, and after a month you realize you don't need a website anymore. You see right here, every web hosting plan comes with a 45-day money-back guarantee. So you could actually get a refund if you want to within 45 days, even if you do buy 3 years up front. So that's how you get the cheapest hosting possible. And once you decide on your hosting plan, fill all that stuff out, just hit here and hit checkout now, and you're done. You'll get an email with your account information. However, it does sometimes go to spam, so check your spam folder. Now that you have your domain name and web hosting set up, let's go ahead and connect everything together. So go to namecheap.com and then just sign into your account. When you sign in, it will take you to your dashboard, and then just click on the domain name that you want to hook up to your web hosting. Just click Manage on the right, and then up here in the right, click on Advanced DNS. Here on the top row, domain name server type, it's set to Namecheap default. Let's just hit Edit here on the right, and then click on Custom. And now after clicking on Custom, we now have these fields where we can put in name server 1, name server 2. And so if we just hop over to that Hostgator email that we got, it has right here name server 1, and name server 2. Then just hit Save Changes. Let's install WordPress, and we'll get your site live on the internet. So go to this Hostgator email you got with your account information, and right here where it says your control panel, let's click on that link. It's going to ask for a username and password, and these come from the email. So username right here, so just copy this. Copy this password right here. Paste it and log in. It's going to take you to your control panel for Hostgator. Here in the control panel, I can either click right here where it says Get Started with WordPress Today, or if you scroll down a little bit, Software and Services, Quick Install. Both of those will take you to the same place. Just click on that. And now if we scroll down, Install WordPress, click that. Scroll down again, install WordPress for free. They have some other things they're trying to sell, but all you need to do is click install WordPress, install for free. And here it takes you, and so if you've never registered a domain before, or if you never installed WordPress on a domain before, for the very first time, usually it will auto-populate in here. I have a ton of domains and subdomains, so I'm just going to pick the one that I want to install WordPress on. But it should auto-populate. If not, just use the drop down and select the domain name that where you're going to install WordPress. Well, yeah, and again, if it's the first time, then you only have one. Then in here, put an email, the blog title, which you will be able to change later. And then a username, and then your first and last name, and then just click install WordPress. And it is all complete. So click view credentials. And so this is how you get to the site you just installed WordPress on. So let's click on that. And so right here I can put in my username and password to log in and start editing it. And here's the username. So I'll put that in here. And then here's the password. And make sure you don't accidentally exit out of this browser or this tab or anything, so that you have the username and password. Although a lot of times they'll send you an email with these credentials, but make sure you keep track of them so that you can log in. And then I'm just going to log in. And now WordPress is installed on my site, and this is now the admin area where I can customize my new WordPress site. When you first sign up for Hostgator, they give you a random string of letters and numbers as your password. And when you first install WordPress, they do the same thing. They give you a random string of letters and numbers as your password. But you can change that to whatever you want. So I'm going to show you how to change your password for each of those things. So for Hostgator, just log into your cPanel. And if you go to that email with your account info, if you click on this link to your cPanel and then just use your username and this password to log in. Once you're in, scroll down a tiny bit, and under Preferences, click on Change Password. Then you're just going to input your old password from the email, copy that, paste it in here, and then put in your new password and repeat it. Leave these unchecked and hit Change Your Password Now, and you're all done for Hostgator. For WordPress, you're just going to click on this link to get to your WordPress admin, and I've already clicked on that and put in the username from this screen. Then I'm going to get the password from this screen, paste it in here and hit login. Then I'm going to go to users and hit all users here on the left. There's my myself. I'm going to hit edit. Scroll down a little bit, and where it says new password, I'm going to put in my new password, repeat it, and then hit update profile, and you're all done. Now that you have your domain name, hosting, and WordPress all set up, we can start customizing the site through WordPress. So here in the WordPress dashboard or admin area, after you've signed in, this is kind of the mission control area of WordPress where you go to make any changes you want. So first we're going to go to Appearance and then hit Themes. And themes determine the overall design of your site, the overall look and feel. So this theme, for instance, you can see the screenshot, the layout and color scheme and such looks very different from this theme. And so yeah, you want to pick a theme that you really like, because that's going to determine for the most part what your site looks like. So I'm going to click on Add New Theme, and I'm going to search for a theme called Alizi. And then I'm just going to hit Install and then Activate. And now that I've activated this theme on my site, if we go to it, you'll see that now it looks pretty similar to the screenshot of this theme. It's inherited a lot of the attributes from this theme. And I think this is a great theme for a video blog because you can see it's got this grid-based kind of Pinterest-style layout where it has kind of the different tiles for blog posts rather than just showing them one after another where you have to scroll down just to see the next one. I think that's great for videos because you can kind of see like a thumbnail and get a good sense for what the different videos are right away before clicking on the one you want to see. And this could also be good for maybe a blog that focuses on images because by having this tile layout, people can see a lot of them at a time right away and go by just seeing the thumbnail. They can decide, oh, I want to see this one right away versus having to scroll down just to see the next post. So I think this is great for a video blog. As you can see, our website is pretty bare. We need to add some content. So let's go ahead and add some video posts. And to do so, we can either hover over here and click on post, or we can go back to the dashboard and go to posts and add new. And so we'll just go ahead and add a title. So let me grab the title, copy that, paste it in here, and then grab this huge body of text, and we'll paste that in here. And so to add a video or to embed a video, it's actually really simple. You just have to get the URL, so you can copy the URL from the YouTube video, paste it straight into the editor, and after a few seconds it will automatically embed that video. So it makes things really nice and simple. Now we're going to scroll down, and here where it says add new category, we're going to add a specific category for this post. We'll call this mini courses. So for all the mini courses, we'll give them this category, and you'll see that in action later on. And then here at the very bottom, we have this featured image. We'll click on set featured image, and we will upload a featured image, and this is going to act as the thumbnail of our post. So we'll hit set featured image, and there you can see it. So we have the featured image, we have the body of our text, we've embedded a video, we have the title, and we're actually even going to make some links. So right here where it says Hostgator, let's turn this into a link to the Hostgator website. So just put hostgator.com, and this is now a link to Hostgator, and we can do the same thing for Namecheap. Just highlight it, namecheap.com, and hit add link, and now those are links. And then for this tutorial description, this is actually a heading. So once you hit this toolbar toggle, then you have this thing right here where you can select heading 1, and so now that's going to be a heading. So now that we're done with this for the most part, let's just hit publish. Now that our video post is published, here you can see on the home page we have the nice thumbnail and excerpt of this post where we've got the featured image, shows the category it's in, title and such. And if we click on it, it will take us to this post of this video that we just created. So we've got the embedded video right here and such, and all this other text that we added. But if we go back to the home page, you may have noticed that this excerpt just kind of goes on for quite a while, and then all of a sudden it cuts off. So after a certain amount of characters, it will just cut off, and you may not know exactly where that's going to cut off, but luckily with WordPress we can decide where we want it to cut off. So maybe we don't want it to just randomly, haphazardly cut off somewhere, or we just don't want to add this much content to the excerpt. We can have it cut off at a certain place. I want it to cut off after this portion right here. So pretty much I just want it to show this for the excerpt. So let's go back to where we can edit the post, the editor. And so right here, right after this, that's where I want to cut off at the end of these two sentences. So I'm just going to hit return, and then up here, insert read more tag, click on that, and basically this just means that it's going to cut off as far as the excerpt goes right when it sees this more tag. So I'll just hit update, and then go back to the home page, and I'm going to hit refresh, and you will see this excerpt now only shows the couple sentences that I wanted to show. So that just makes it look a little cleaner, and you can now control how much it's going to show and where you want it to cut off. So now that you know how to add a video post, I'm going to go ahead and add a bunch of posts on my own. I do it with you, but it would probably be a waste of your time because it's going to be pretty much the exact same process. So as not to bore you, I'll just go ahead and add a few more so that we have some more content and you can get a better feel of what this site is going to look like with some more content on it. So I've added some more content to the site so we can see kind of what it looks like with actual content in it. And now let's go ahead and make some customizations to the theme. So to do so, we can hit Customize up here, or we can go to Appearance and then Customize in the dashboard. And so this is called the Customizer. And here in the Customizer, as we're making changes, we can actually see those changes happen in real time on our site so that we can kind of preview what it would look like. And so let's just get started. We'll hit General, and here we can add a logo that would appear right here. We can add a favicon, and the favicon appears up here. It's that little icon in the browser's tab. And this area to add a favicon is specific to this theme. So this theme enabled this option to add a favicon. But WordPress itself actually lets you add a favicon through WordPress. And so we're going to do it later on through WordPress. So we'll just leave these two areas blank. I'm going to hit back. And then home layout, we could change it to just be one column, for instance, if we wanted. We'll leave that at 3 columns though and hit back. Single posts and pages. So we have these different featured images that are showing as kind of the thumbnails. Now, if we actually click on one of these posts, it doesn't show the featured image. If we scroll down, we have the YouTube video, but the featured image doesn't show when we get to the actual post. If we were to check this to show featured images on single posts, then it would show at the top of every post. And if we check this, then it would do the same thing for pages. And if we check this box, it shows a little authorship bio thing down here. I'm going to leave that unchecked, leave the pages unchecked, and I'll also leave the posts unchecked. And the reason why is because, especially for video posts, usually the featured image that I would use for the post is going to be the same featured image used in the video, and it just looks a little redundant to have the same image pretty much showing twice. So I'm going to leave that unchecked so that it doesn't show the featured image, just the video right here. And so now I'll just go ahead and hit Save and Publish to make sure any changes I've made are actually recorded. Let's hit back, and then here fonts, you could change the font. I'm going to leave those as is. Site identity, this is where you change the wording that appears right here. So I'm going to grab my site title and my tagline. And for site icon, this is where you add the favicon. So site icon and favicon are the same thing. It's the little icon that goes up here in the browser tab. And so I'm going to add it through here. So I'll go to Select File, Upload Files, Select Files, get my little favicon, site icon, hit Select. And they want it to be pretty big because sometimes this will show up in other areas too, not just up here in the tab. So for instance, if you were to create a shortcut on your phone for this website, it would usually use the site icon. So I'll go back, and then colors, I can change the colors, and I want to just change this primary color. So I'll change that, and you can see the changes happening in real time. Go back, and header image, I'm going to add my own header image as well. So I'll upload files, grab my header image, hit select and crop, and you're going to have to crop it because it's not going to show all of it, so it automatically has the right dimensions for you. You just have to move it so that it crops the image correctly. Hit crop image, and as that loads, now you can see it's showing here in the previewer on the right, and you may notice that it's kind of added a little dark overlay to make it a little bit darker, and that is a good thing because that makes sure that the words right here are very readable, but just keep that in mind. And then we'll go back, and then these other areas, background image, menus, widgets, static page, I'm just going to leave all of those as is. So for now, I'll just hit save and publish, and then I can exit out of the customizer. Hope everything's going well so far and that you're not falling asleep like this guy. If you've run into any issues so far, feel free to leave your questions in the comments. And if you think you'd benefit from more in-depth training on WordPress, check out my premium course at course.buildwithoutcode.com, where you'll learn all the ins and outs of WordPress along with other web tips like SEO or how to make a logo. Alright, back to the course. Now that we've made those customizations to our site, let's hit refresh here on the home page, and you can see those customizations take effect. The color is different, we have our own custom header and such, and so it's starting to look more of how we want it to look. You may have also noticed here on the right there is this plus sign, and if we click it, it actually pulls out this sidebar, and this sidebar also exists on the actual post pages. So if we were to go onto one of the posts, we can see this same sidebar, but it's just here by default. And so you can tell that there's kind of like different islands of content within this sidebar, and these are called widgets. And they're modular, meaning that you can take certain widgets out or put certain widgets in. So for instance, if we didn't want this recent comments widget, we could just easily delete it and take it out, and we could add a different widget that maybe doesn't exist here in the sidebar. To edit these widgets, we can either hover over here and click on widgets right there, or in the dashboard we can go to appearance, hover over that, and click on widgets. And here we can just drag and drop them to add or delete them. So for instance, if I don't want archives, I can just drag it off and let go, and it's no longer there. And let's say I want to add the Elise recent posts widget. I can just drag it on, and it will automatically save. So I don't have to hit save anywhere. Just by dragging it on, dragging stuff off, it will update. And so you can see there's two different widgets for recent posts. And this one, the one that came default, is the WordPress version. And then this one is a specific theme widget for this specific theme, Elise. So if I hit refresh right here, you'll be able to see both of them side by side. So here we have the custom recent post widget from this specific theme. And then down here, this is the recent post widget that came default with WordPress. And I kind of like this one a little better. It has a thumbnail and stuff, and I like the font. So I'm just going to drag this off, and I will drag off, I don't want the recent comments or meta, so we'll have search, recent posts, then categories. And by clicking on a widget, usually if there's any customization you can do to it, you can just do it right in here. So for instance, this widget says recent posts, but since they're all tutorials, maybe I want to call it recent tutorials. So I'll do that, then I'll hit save. And now when I hit refresh, here you can see it says recent tutorials, and we only have the search, recent tutorials, and categories widgets. The rest are gone. You may have also noticed these other areas, footer A, footer B, footer C. And so this theme allows us to add widgets to different areas of the footer as well. And it's pretty much, this is the first column, second column, and third column of the footer down here. So let's add a couple widgets to these widget areas as well. And I'm going to add, let's see here. We'll add a recent posts to footer C, so kind of the third column. We'll add recent posts. Then we'll add a text box to footer A, and text box is pretty much just a blank canvas. You can put whatever you want, and we'll just put contact us, and we'll say something like, we'd love to hear from you, drop us a line at, and then we'll just put the email address they want us to contact us at, code.com. Okay, smiley face, so that they feel good about themselves. So I'll hit save. So that's the text, and then here I'm just going to change this to say recent tutorials, and this is the WordPress recent post widget, so it's not going to take up very much room, so it'll work great for the footer. And then in footer B, we're going to add this Alizi social profile widget, which will show our different social profiles. We'll have to set that up in a second though, so that area is going to be blank. But let's go ahead and just hit refresh. And here at the bottom, you can see some of the widgets we add. We added this text widget with the contact us, and then this recent tutorials widget. They both exist here in the footer. Now let's configure this social profile widget, and to do so we need to create a menu. So let's go to appearance and then menus, click on that, and now we can just name the menu whatever you want. It's just for your reference, it won't actually appear anywhere on the site, and hit create menu. Then we're going to click on custom links, and right here where it says URL, we're going to add the URL of our social media profiles. So for Twitter, for instance, this is the URL to get to my profile. So I'm just going to add it in here and then hit add to menu. And then we'll just do that for all of our different social media profiles. And it's pretty cool. It pretty much recognizes which social media company it's from or which website it's coming from, and it adds a corresponding icon. So for instance, when I add this Pinterest URL, WordPress is able to recognize that it's coming from Pinterest, and it associates it with a Pinterest icon that it will put in the footer. So that's what this widget does, and it works for quite a few different social media websites, and we will see in a second which ones it does actually work for. So let me just add these, add to menu, and you can rearrange the order if you like. Now I'm just going to hit save menu. And then we'll go back to widgets, and I'm gonna, or as you can see, it's now that we've added a menu, it gives us some more instructions. So here are the supported networks right here, where if you add a link to your profile on one of these networks, it will automatically add an icon, and then that icon will link to that specific network. So we just have to add a title if we want. I'll just put follow us, and then choose the menu, and so far we've only created one, so just choose that one, hit save, and now when we come back to our site, let's hit refresh, and here you can see it has auto-generated these different icons, and they all link to the corresponding network. Just the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off, I'm going to change this to show maybe just 4 so that it's more in line with some of these other widgets. So I'm going to change this recent tutorials to just show, let's say 3. Hit save and refresh it. And now we have our footer area done. When we created this social menu, you may have also noticed that down here there's this checkbox where we can check social. And by doing so, we'll check that and hit save menu. This theme has another special area where it shows these social media icons. So make sure you check it, hit save, and then we'll come back to our site and hit refresh. Here on the left we have this little corner with the Facebook icon, and if you click on it, then it pulls out all the icons that link to the different social networks. We want to make it really easy for people to share our content, our posts. So we're going to add a plugin that will enable some social share buttons on our posts so that it makes it really easy for people to share our content. So back in the dashboard, we're going to go to plugin, and then add new. and then we'll just type in Access Press Social Share is the name of the plugin. Hit install now and activate. It's a free plugin. And so now if I hit refresh on our post, if we scroll down here at the bottom, you can see we have these nice clean share buttons where users can just click them to share it on these different networks. And to customize this plugin, here now after we've installed it, we can see we have this Access Press Social Share area in our dashboard. So let's click on that. And here we can change the order and we can deactivate certain ones. So let's say we want to deactivate the dig, and we want to put we'll put Google Plus below Pinterest and Twitter at the top. Oops, there we go. And now let's go to this other area, and let's say we don't want them to appear on pages, just on the post, so I'll deactivate that. And then instead of just showing up below the content, we want it to show up below and above the content, and you can change some of the different themes and such. So after you've made any changes, we'll just hit Save Settings and come back to our site, hit refresh, and now you can see it's reflected those changes we've made, and now we have those social share buttons here at the top as well, so it makes it really easy for people to share our content. If you'd like to enable people to leave comments, you can just hit Edit Post, so we'll just edit the actual post itself. And if we hit Screen Options, click on Discussion, and by clicking on that, now at the bottom of the editor we have this new discussion area, and you just check Allow Comments. So you can do that for each individual post, so you could allow comments on some articles, not on others. And once you check on that, or once you check that, excuse me, just hit Update. And now if we look at our actual post, at the bottom here we have an area to leave a comment. Now another thing you can do is go to Settings and then Discussion. And if right here where it says allow people to post comments on new articles, if you check that, then any new article that you post after checking this will automatically have these comments enabled. So if you just want all of your articles to always have comments on it, then make sure you come here and check that before you make the articles. Otherwise, you'll have to go to each individual one and turn it on. And one last thing you may want to do is, by default, it's checked that users must be registered and logged into comment. So if for this page, for example, if I open an incognito window and I navigate to this page and scroll to the bottom, here it says you must be logged in to post a comment. So because we have this checked, you have to be logged in. And usually you don't want this checked because then pretty much no one can leave a comment. So by unchecking that, then anyone on the internet can leave a comment. And let me show you what that looks like. Let me just go down here and hit Save. And then we'll open an incognito window again, go to the page again. And if we scroll to the bottom, here we can have, you can see this leave a reply. You've probably seen this elsewhere on the internet, this format of name, email, website, comment. That's because a lot of websites are built using WordPress. But yeah, this way you can now have comments on your website. The last thing we're going to do is edit this menu up here, put in our own custom menu here in the navigation bar. And so by default it has home and some sample page. But for us to create our own, we can just go to Appearance Menus, and then we'll click on Create New Menu. We'll just name this Primary. Hit Create Menu, and then so we can add pages, we can add specific posts into our navigation bar. We can also add custom links that can go to wherever we want. You know, if we have another website we want to link to, we can put the URL for that website and then put the link text, and that will appear in our navigation bar. I want to just put the URL for the home page of this site, and I'll just put home so that we still have a home button. And then after that, I'm just going to add these categories as pages. So I'll check all those, hit Add to Menu, And then I'm just going to check primary menu so that this menu we're creating actually replaces this primary menu. So now I'll just hit save menu and refresh my home page. And now I have my custom menu up here. And so if I click on category, it will show all the posts in the mini courses. Sorry, if I click the mini courses category, it will show all the articles in the mini courses category. So let's click mini courses, and now see this page they can navigate to find all the mini courses. And the same would go for domains. They will see all the articles in the domains category. So here's our new nav bar. And just FYI, for categories, if for some reason you've set it up and instead of showing the actual category page, it shows a page not found or something like that. That's happened to me before with this theme. If that happens to you, just go to settings, permalinks, and then just hit save changes. You don't even have to change anything, just hit save changes, and that will usually change this structure to work correctly. For some reason, I'm not exactly sure why it does that, but yeah, just keep in mind if you get error 404, page not found, something like that, when you click on a category, then just go to permalink settings and hit save changes, and that should fix it. But yeah, now we have our nice new navigation bar, and of course if I click home, then it takes us back to the home page of the site. You should now know everything you need to know to make this entire site from scratch. And if you ran into any issues along the way, feel free to leave your questions in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, or comment on the video. It really helps a lot, and the more activity there is, the more videos I'll make. If you're looking for more training on how to use WordPress, I teach a premium course that goes very in depth on how to use all the different ins and outs of WordPress, as well as other web tips like SEO or how to make a logo. So if you're interested in that, you can go get it at course.buildwithoutcode.com or by following the link in the description. Thanks again for watching, and best of luck.